Hey guys, Coach Austin here. Just want to let you know that this video is pretty raw, and while I was recording it, I think I even got a phone call, so it's kind of all over the place. There's a little cut in it, so hopefully you still enjoy it. It's a pretty good film. We'll get better. I'll get better as we do it. So comment, follow, give us a like. Enjoy.
No, to you.
Maybe not. All right, let's start it. Damn it! I dropped it. Oh crap! Look at that. Cancel.
Did you get that on your
God
video?
damn it!
Is that on your?
Oh crap! All right, I dropped it. We're back.
Oh, we're live.
Back in action.
Yeah,
We're live.
live.
Yep. I dropped the phone. That's why. Got to realign the tripod. Little bicep shot for you.
It's a good view.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery is the topic today. Is that better?
It's better.
Are you in, Austin? No, you're not. Sorry, I was hitting start and I threw the tripod off. There we go. Recovery is the topic today. Got Coach Austin, Corbin, and myself, Coach Mike. Coaches and coffee. What's up, crew?
Good morning, Michael.
Austin was like saying that he was going to be a student today or a fly on the wall, but we know he has a ton
Come
of
on.
good nuggets. Yeah. So-
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, today is, we had a couple people message in with a couple of questions, so we'll answer those. And I have a client, always on Wednesdays, who's been watching them, and he's got like 3 or 4 different ideas. So, but we like to start with, what are you drinking, Austin?
As I took this out of Erica Sweeney's
That one's pretty good.
ball of tricks. This is a ghost. It's just straight stress to your cardiovascular system.
Yeah. She always puts good memes up on
Yeah.
Instagram. Carnitine.
It is like the
Warheads.
the
Oh my
warhead
gosh, so it's
flavor.
sour.
Yeah.
Sour
It tastes really-
watermelon.
it
It
tastes
tastes,
really
it
good.
tastes just like the
Holy cow.
warhead.
Have you had? I had the red berry Sour Patch Kids one yesterday.
Was it good?
It was really good.
Yeah, these are kind of like one of those. I could probably just drink water.
I
It's
got
got caffeine in it?
200
Yeah.
migs.
Jeez, when you could just drink water. That's a
But I
big
mean, like I
difference.
don't need that to like function, but I do anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
I think you do.
Down the hatch.
What are you drinking?
This fancy BiPro $5 protein water.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it has 100 milligrams caffeine, 20 grams of whey isolate. It's the only whey ready to drink beverage that Lifetime carries.
Really?
Really?
Everything else is plant based, all in the ready to drinks.
Huh.
Yeah.
Does it
Probably
taste?
pretty easy to digest.
It only
right?
tastes like oranges.
It doesn't really taste that great. That one's actually not bad, but it has caffeine.
Doesn't smell that great either.
Yeah, it has a weird aftertaste. This one's probably the best tasting ones of them all. But yeah, we don't, for whatever reason, they don't like to
Crazy.
carry whey.
That would be like a huge like walk down there, buy it, walk away.
How many calories is that?
90.
90 for
And
the whole
the
thing?
and the plant based one is 170,
Interesting.
and the
Wow.
same amount of calories or same amount of protein.
Any carbs in the plant-based?
I don't know. Yeah.
Probably some then. That's what gives it the
'cause
calories.
170.
Yeah.
This
Well,
one says
and
zero.
it's more fat too, because this is also from a water base too, versus that being more of your probably almond milk or something type
Mhm.
base. I don't know,
Interesting.
but
Well, I got some coffee
Nice. One of us drinks coffee.
in my Yeti. Usually make a pot in the morning. I like to have a coffee like right in the morning.
Mm.
And then I usually have one like a little bit later in the day, and this is going to be my later in the day one. Then I got some Generation UCAN, some hydrate in here, just sipping, staying hydrated. So let's say hi to those who've joined. Whoop whoop, caffeine and recovery. Who is this? EHL Fitness. Let me check out who this individual
that's,
is, and I might even invite this
think that's,
individual on if they're still
I think
on.
that's Howard.
Howard?
Yeah, works at the front desk.
Oh yeah.
The membership concierge.
Oh my
Howard.
gosh. If he's still on, I might invite him on.
Hmm.
Nope.
This is going on YouTube too.
Right on. Oh yeah. So we wouldn't be able to see that individual,
Yeah.
right? Austin, have you worked out yet today?
I haven't. I think I'm gonna do alpha conditioning because there's some team workouts in there, and I always like working out with partners and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So I looked ahead in the programming yesterday, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna jump into that. Yeah, it's kind of fun to do that stuff. I like the you go, I go kind of stuff with a team.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
I like relay races.
Yeah.
Speaking of you go, I go. I did one where it was 8 people. It was like 80 miles, and basically each person would run about a 5K, and then you get back into a van, kind of like the Ragnar, but they were like, I say sprint. They were 5K efforts.
Yeah.
So it kind of is a very hard effort.
Yeah, because how long do you use your rest?
Your rest is, I don't recall. This was over a decade now, but it was at least an hour. Yeah. I think we did like 3 different segments. So you did 3 5Ks in, 8-hour period. Yeah, it was fun. I have not worked out today. I had to take the kids to school, and I feel like,
What about run club?
no run club. There was no run club this morning.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was not there.
Nobody else. Because you got to take care of your kids.
Corbin wasn't willing to run it for me. Yeah.
That'd be walk club,
Yeah.
stairmaster
Maybe
club.
Stairmaster Club.
Yeah. Corbin, have you worked out?
The Stairmaster at 9 o'clock because my 9 a.m. canceled. So
Good man. Good
I
man.
wasn't gonna be able to. I was gonna have to wait to do it until tonight, but I brought clothes just in case, and she canceled.
Yep.
So I got it in.
There you go.
So this topic of recovery is kind of coming about. Corbin invited me on Saturday. I was in the gym to do a deadlift party. Okay.
Saturdays are Corbin's deadlift days.
Deadlift at 2:30. Corbin comes in and deadlifts, and he deadlifts heavy. And I did not plan on deadlifting or going heavy. I actually wanted to do a core workout. But I
Deadlifting
ended up,
uses your core.
yeah, but like specifically core, like footwork, glute work, actually ab work, side planks, upper back work, trunk, okay, trunk work. And so I did do some heavy deadlifts, and we were talking about the things that come after like a super heavy deadlift session, like some fatigue in your back, right? But we also talked about he was opening up a jar, and later in the day, right? Weren't you?
It was Sunday at my mom's.
Sunday, so it was the next day. It was the next day. Okay.
I was trying to open something,
Yeah.
and like I was like, it felt so weak.
Right. So it got me thinking about grip strength is actually a way to quantify if you're fatigued, right? So if you had
Wait, you didn't put your straps on the jar?
No.
if you have I forget what they actually is it like a dynamometer or something like that? You grab it and it gives you an output, and depending on what the output is, it can tell you if you've done this in the past when you're fresh. You can rate yourself and see what your number is, and then you can do it again like every morning and see what your readiness is. And people are using things like HRV. People are using resting heart rate. People are using, I know KU has force plates that they have their athletes jump up. And if they're not within 10% of their max jump, they won't have them do their big or quality lift for the day. So for example, they're supposed to come in and they're supposed to do back squats or cleans or snatches or like a really big lift, and they get on the force plate and they don't jump very high. They have them do a B or a C style workout. So one of my clients was like, well, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just like train your athletes to be tough and tough it out even when you're fatigued? Or conversely, why wouldn't you educate that athlete on how to recover so they don't get into that situation? Well, I'm like, well, first off, we're talking about KU, and we're talking about 18 to 21-year-olds.
Performance,
Yeah, like these guys are kids, and they are probably going out and they're staying up too late, and probably drinking or smoking dope or doing all kinds of stuff with college.
Whatever those kids do.
Dang kids.
Was there, So I think I want to talk about some of those things. And do you use HRV? Do we use resting heart rate? Do we use a dynamometer? What do we use to assess when an athlete walks in the door? Looking them in the eyes is a great way for a coach just to be like, look, man, are you cool? Like, I know within the first like 3 minutes, oh, we're gonna get it on today. I can tell my clients got some spunk, they got some pop, you know. So I think having a coach who can read their athletes is very important. But what other ways are you guys assessing your, call it, readiness?
I would just say by asking them questions like how, like literally when they first walk up the stairs and walk over, you know, how they're doing, how they're feeling, how they sleep.
That's probably one I should ask more about, is how you slept.
I mean, they almost always tell me if I don't even get to it by, you know, first time when I say, hey, how are you doing? Usually the second or third thing out of their mouth is, oh, I didn't sleep very well. If they didn't sleep good, you know, they usually are pretty quick to tell me, or I did this, you know, I'm tired or whatever. You can kind of always feel just by how they present themselves first to you.
Yeah.
You can almost immediately tell, not necessarily how the session's going to go, but like how they're feeling and what you need to kind of maybe, like, you might already have a plan for them, but if they walk up and they're like,
oh yeah,
you know, and you know, I try to, I don't immediately go, okay, well then I'm just scrapping all this, but you know, I try to see if I can in our warm up maybe get a little more life out of them, and if that doesn't happen, then we still go through our workout, but we don't do the same, obviously, intensity. Yeah.
Gotta have a plan B.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of having a coach too.
Well,
It's like,
yeah.
if you didn't have that coach with you, then maybe that athlete would be like, well,
I'm
it's
just
on the
gonna work out
program.
today. Yeah.
It's on the
Or
program.
just, you know what?
Or
scrap
not
it.
work out.
Or not, yeah.
Or not work out at all,
Yeah.
right? So I think that it's usually the latter. Usually
and
people
move.
are like, yeah, I didn't sleep very well. Yeah, I'm gonna not work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should not be the case. Like there should be a plan B. It should not be I need to just not do the workout.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so
Take everything down to like around 60% your max range and just work on quality reps and
Yeah, the good technique day.
Or like let's say you got 4 lifts in the week or 3 lifts in the week. Maybe you got your A lift that is like, generally I put my big lift on a Monday or a Tuesday. And the reason I do that is I'm coming off the weekend usually a little more fresh, a little more chipper. By the time I get to Thursday, Friday, I've got some fatigue in, you know, a long week, come into the weekend, I just get maybe a little bit more sleep. So I think that that's important to understand. Can you see that little kid out at the window? He's pointing. Oh, you're good, buddy.
Hey.
We got a live audience, ladies and gentlemen. Live audience. You're getting a call. Do you want to take that right now?
No, I don't.
We should get a live audience someday, guys.
Like just sit on the floor and see who stops to listen.
Yeah, maybe we could do it in the cafe. The problem with the cafe is there's so much background noise.
Yeah.
And everybody's like trying to talk to Austin, you know, they're like trying to like ask him training questions, you know. Like,
Nobody
I saw
asks.
your last lot, Coaches and Coffee, like I want to ask you about recovery, right?
Mike is holding it down with the followers, that's for sure.
So I want to go back to HRV, which HRV, just to like describe or define what it is, the heart has a certain rhythm. So if you look at an EKG, you would think beep, beep, beep. You would think that having a consistent heart rate would be a good thing. And what I mean by that is in between each heartbeat is a time. And if the time standard deviation is very close, then that means that the heart is stressed, that the body is stressed. And the heart rate variability means that there should be a large variability between heart rates, like beep, 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 beep.
And when we say large, I mean, we're talking about milliseconds.
Milliseconds,
Yeah.
absolutely, yep. And so these Garmin's, Whoops, FitBits are detecting these things these days. And so that's one way to identify our readiness. Another way is to take your resting heart rate. Okay, and that's also a great way to assess your fitness. The lower your resting heart rate, theoretically, the more fit you should be, the more efficient your heart is at displacing blood to your extremities. Garmin's got this thing called body battery that's kind of like Whoop's readiness, you know? So there are many ways, and I'm saying this because one thing's going to resonate with one person may not have a Garmin or a Whoop, and they might wake up and they might put their fingers to their carotid artery and take their resting heart rate.
Right.
Cool, good on you.
Yeah. I mean, the people did all this before we had technology, so.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yep. But I also think people just need to like also, I say that the Garmin and the Whoop and the Fitbit tell you these things, but also you got to be a little bit intuitive. You know, like sometimes my watch tells me I slept like crap, and I woke up feeling refreshed as hell.
Well, that's
So
I wore a Whoop band for probably like a year and a half, and I became obsessed with like the recovery score. So if it told me I wasn't recovered, even if I felt good, I just would sandbag the shit out of the workout, right?
Yeah.
So I won't wear my Garmin at night. I don't wear a Whoop band anymore. I sometimes take my Garmin off when I do Metcons and stuff. I mean, it's just sometimes.
Then it doesn't count. The workout.
Yeah, if you
doesn't
do not start it,
record
it doesn't.
Yeah.
If it's not on Instagram Live or your watch, it didn't
The
count.
steps didn't count.
But there's a level of being like knowing your body and then also going off that stuff, because I became obsessed with it. Like if it wasn't green, those workouts would be horrible.
Yeah.
And some days even when I felt the worst, end up being my best days. Like as I start to move, to your point, you know, in the warm up and stuff. So I mean that's.
I think movement's one of the best forms of recovery.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for everything. I mean,
Let's go
whether
there.
you have like a knee rehab, like right, like you get like an ACL.
Well, that's
or like
even.
you gotta move it. I mean,
I can't. I only know from like talking to people and having like family members, but like even people that get like open heart surgery now. I mean, they sit them up and walk them around to get blood circulating almost immediately.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that movement is
you have low back pain, get up and walk.
get up
like,
and yeah,
literally
so anything.
move.
Yeah.
Like some
Motion is lotion.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I think after a big deadlift day, like cat cows, right, doing the flow.
Well, it's like I told you, I like
Walking
to do RDLs after my heavy sets of.
Oh, that's right. That's what we're talking about, right?
Of conventional deadlifts. I'll do some lighter RDLs with just really strict, really good form, and I get a really big pump through my spinal erectors and my hamstrings and everything, and my low back feels phenomenal
So
afterwards.
let's tee that up. You just did, call it 8 times 3 reps, okay? And homeboy's lifting 465, sometimes 500 pounds for 3 reps.
Yeah.
Right? Huge weight, okay? Hitting the floor, and the salespeople down in the first floor are hearing the weight hit the floor, okay? That kind of weight. So what he's suggesting is, after you do those 8 times 3, do 2 to 3 sets of how many reps? With light load. So you just did 4, let's say you did 500 pounds, just to keep the numbers. So what do you go?
So like 500 pounds for like sets 3?
Yep.
Yeah. So like I wouldn't do more than like 3 sets of that, maybe 4 sets
Of
the 500.
Okay.
Like maybe 5 sets tops.
Okay.
If I was doing like 8 sets, I'd probably have to go quite a bit lighter.
Okay.
Not quite a bit, but like I know
that's
you're
something
just kind of getting a
yeah.
gauge.
So let's say 5 times 3.
Let's say
You've
say
also
5 by
done a
3.
couple of like warm up sets
Oh, yeah.
where you're like 315, you know,
405.
405,
Yeah.
right? So let's not
Must be
forget.
nice to just count by the 45.
Right. So let's not forget that he's doing his main set is 5 times 3, but he's also doing 4 to 5 sets to warm up. So he's
Probably 7.
yeah, so he's probably 10 sets of deadlifting.
Oh wait, those don't
in.
count as your working sets?
No.
10 sets of deadlifting in, okay, and then so he's done with the heavy stuff. What
And
do you do?
then I would say anywhere kind of depends on my fatigue level and like how much I just want to like get done with the workout at that point. But I'll do anywhere between 2 to 4 sets of some RDLs in the we'll say call it the 5 to 10 rep range.
Okay.
Anywhere.
How much weight?
After heavy deadlifting,
135, 185,
For me-
225.
for me probably anywhere between 225 to 315 pounds.
So he's doing 50%
That's a light
of his
load.
working load. But no, it is though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's endurance. That's a strength
Yeah.
endurance load, right? 50%.
Like after you left, I did 315 for 2 sets at 8 on RDLs.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Those felt pretty good.
what I think is important to understand is that he does more movement, like what we were just talking about,
Yeah.
to increase the blood flow to the areas that you were just working, which 1 can work on hypertrophy, which 2 can work on recovery,
Yeah.
getting blood flow back into the site. Okay?
Yeah, I think sometimes, and this is, I think, it's become more evident, a lot of people go to, and I'm not saying like if you have low back problems, go deadlift right away instead of icing, but like a lot of people like look to like ice, and that's actually kind of being shown to not be the greatest thing, you know, because blood pooling to a certain extent is a good thing, It's our natural, it's our body's
Well,
natural way
that's the
to
whole thing.
heal itself.
Inflammation is a huge trigger word too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bad to a point, but that is part of your body's natural recovery process.
Right. So Ice baths post lifting for strength or hypertrophy, bad. Ice baths post endurance activity, not as detrimental to your benefits.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'll say, if you're gonna
make
ice
sure that you
bath,
identify the goal of the training session and the goal of the ice bath. The goal of the ice bath would hinder or blunt the benefits of the strength session.
especially paired right next to it.
Correct.
Yeah. If
4
you know,
hours
like-
later.
yeah.
4 hours later.
Different,
After
Muscle swelling and stuff like that's kind
Because
of
there's-
tapered.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of like elite athletes that go back and forth, like at the end of their day, like after they've worked out, not immediately after, to go like from the sauna and ice bath and go back and forth multiple times to hit both.
So somebody ended up saying, and I'm gonna need to look this up, but what is a good cool down recovery run after like your main set? I think that's person dependent. Like the group that I go out with, we do a 2-mile warm up track session, and then we do a 2-mile cool down. So that 2-mile cool down, think of it in terms of minutes. That would be about a 15 to 16 minute run for my group. I think it's person dependent. It needs to probably be at least 5 minutes. And then whether it be you're doing like a class of some sort, that could be going over the stair stepper, that could be getting on a bicycle. The recovery run, I say, doesn't need to be necessarily a recovery run. It could be more blood flow. Or more movement. It doesn't need to be the exact same modality. So it could be a rower, it could be a stair stepper, it could be walking at a small incline, like a 3 to 5% incline for 5 minutes. Okay. One, it's going to help remove lactic acid from the bloodstream. Now, let's just be clear. You get an hour out of your activity, lactic acid is out of your bloodstream. People are like, oh, my muscles are so sore, I've got lactic acid still in them. That's incorrect. Okay?
You mean it doesn't last multiple days?
No, yeah. Woke up the next day after my marathon, I still got lactic acid in that's incorrect. You have micro tears that's causing the soreness and damage, okay? So to go back to what's the best recovery after a training run, I like more movement, and I like, a lot of times people will hit the couch after like 20-mile runs or 22-mile runs or really hard track sessions. What oftentimes happens with me, and I'm just speaking based off my case study, is I have to come in and I have to train clients, or I have to go play with the kids, which actually is probably one of the best things to do. And Ben and Andrew are asking me to go out and play soccer. And am I doing it as chipper and as fast as I once was? No, but that little bit of movement and me squatting down keeps my hips pliable. So along with that, people are also asking me, how much do I stretch? I'm not stretching that much. My stretch routine is actually, I don't have a very elaborate stretch routine.
Right.
My claim to fame is just I move a lot, and I show my clients stuff all day long.
Yeah, you'll notice. That's why I was telling some of my clients, like, if I'm really sore, I'll probably warm up with you. Because I'm trying to get moved,
dude, Totally. You got the people need to understand. I'm not a desk monkey. That's what's really prevented me from having any kind of lower back pain. So you said, I've got lower back pain. What should you do? You should go for a walk. You should get up off from your desk. You should go do a wall sit. You should do 8 push-ups.
Farmer carry. Farmer carry until you die.
Yeah.
I think those are that has helped me so much tremendously. Those exercises I do before deadlifting, actually deadlifting, and then farmer carrying. Man, farmer
What do you
carrying.
mean actually deadlifting? Like heavyweight?
Yeah,
I got you.
like what's helped my deadlift and helped my back be
Gotcha.
as good as it is those exercises right there. I mean, it's just huge. Huge.
To go back to what Austin was talking, or what we were talking about, having a conversation with an athlete. When an athlete walks in and they're looking you in the eyes and they are having a good conversation and are chipper, that is a sign of being fresh. Conversely, an athlete walks in and they aren't giving you eye contact. They're looking at the ground. They're slow to find words. They're walking slowly. Like, I've been there to the point where I'm overtrained, and I've gone to the bike and I've sat on the bike on a trainer or the spin bike, and I've not moved my legs, and I've just stared at the bike. I've gone to the edge of a pool and I've sat at the edge of the pool, not with my feet in the water. I didn't want to,
Just
but I've sat there for 10 minutes and I've walked away. That is a sign of overtraining.
Yeah.
If you have minimal desire to go do your activities, I would look at the other things you're doing for recovery, like your sleep, like your nutrition, like your hydration, and so on. Like if you don't have a drive to do your activities, I would look at those other things. You know, I would look at the other things in your life. Some of those things could be emotional. Some of those things could be, you know, other than just physical.
I think there was
fatigue in this extreme like bouts of where, man, I just feel like I really like should be stretching more or doing this more. It's like, well, how about you move a little bit more efficiently? And I get that not everybody knows how to do that, so that's where people like us
that's
come
where
in.
coaches come in.
But just moving more efficiently and having a good program and understanding, right? We didn't even talk about this yet, but like knowing what a deload is. Like knowing when you should go to a deload in your cycle and drop your volume, drop your reps in half, drop your miles in half, drop
That's
whatever
kind of where I
it
was
is.
going with the whole overtraining thing.
Yeah. Know when to take a week of recovery like that, where you still get to exercise and still move, but everything's just half the capacity.
Yeah.
That I think is the most lazy thing to me, because you're still doing your regular, you're not deviating
cutting
at
it
all
in half.
from your program. You're not doing any extra outside
So in
work.
terms of like, you're right, like the lazy,
You know what I mean?
the
So you're
simple
literally not doing any outside work other than your training. You're just simplifying a little bit more and cutting that volume in half at, whether it needs to be at a 3 week or it needs to be at 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 5 weeks.
Yep.
I
kind of want to end this with motion is lotion. I think that's what we continue to come back on. Is that movement helps with recovery. And I think about like me after a hard run, going and playing with the kids or getting on the training floor and taking yourself into end range motion, squatting down into a deep squat, even after a long run or even after a hard lift session, getting yourself into, doing some cat-cow or even flow. But
I was gonna say that's another like simple thing. Just go take a yoga class.
That's what I was about to plug.
Just take it.
I was gonna plug Dre.
Yeah.
Dre!
I do surrender yoga
We can make her a special guest.
And especially like
every Wednesday night. I haven't missed one in 9 weeks.
Wednesday night at what
you
time?
feel good.
Yeah, I feel great.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night at 7. Dre, come to
Wednesday
her
night at
class.
7.
I need to get going. It's at 11 o'clock. I got an 11 o'clock client. It's actually 10:58, so I'm going to be on time. Let's bring it in. Coaches and coffee.
Hours
1,
behind.
2, 3. Coaches and coffee.
Break.